I have Creative Studio version 6 set up. Over on the left, I have patterns that I want to preview. I have 1, 2, 3, there's four patterns in this. And I want to look at each pattern and I want to determine how they were going to look on a quilt. So first thing I'm going to do is just click on the repeat patterns icon. Down here in this area where it says total width and total height, I will put in the width of the quilt, and I'm just going to make up some numbers. We'll say that this quilt is 85 wide. Okay, first I have to select this and highlight it. 85, and the total length is 95. We'll just put those numbers in. Now I don't know vertical spacing or all this until I put a pattern on the screen. I'm going to click OK over here. Notice I do not have a boundary there. I'll just click OK. This looks good as far as spacing. I don't need to do any changes there, but I would like to look at a different pattern. Now if I select the swirls pattern and if I click on the transfer pattern to boundary icon, it transferred this new pattern in place of where the first pattern was. Then I can go down and select another pattern. Click on the transfer pattern to boundary icon, and there they are. They're in there. So that's how I can look at different patterns. And here's a 30s posies pattern. I'll select it, click on the transfer pattern to boundary icon, and there they are. Now it would need to adjust the vertical spacing on this one. So that's how you can preview, and the whole thing is once you did this, if you needed to send this to a customer, I'm going to put this fancy pattern back in there because I really like that pattern. And by the way, that fancy pattern is a pattern by Lori Thomas. So I'll click on this transfer pattern to boundary and put that in there. Now if I wanted to take a screenshot, or I prefer to use my snipping tool. Here's my snipping tool way down here at the bottom. Click on the snipping tool, click on New. I will simply draw around this. And right click on it, and I would save as, and then here I would save it as a JPG file, and they can look at that. You can send that JPG file. So you need to take and put that in a folder, and what I would do here in where that file name is, I would just put in the name of the pattern, fancy, and save it into a folder on my C drive. I'd make a folder on the C drive and I'd put this in there. Then I would go and do the same thing with the other patterns that I want to look at. and I would send the pattern picture of the patterns to a customer, and they could select. That's how I would do that.